Let's make turnip and celery root puree. This is a celery root, also known by the fancy French term of celeriac. First thing we're going to do is peel and chop these two vegetables. So you're just going to take your turnip, which looks like that. These have the green part and the long stringy nose thing cut off. So you're just going to peel all your turnips until they're snowy white. This is what's going to make your puree gorgeous. You're going to take a bowl large enough to hold cut up what you have, and you're going to pour in milk, and this will also help prevent them from discoloring while you're chopping them. And you're going to pour in cream. It's the truth. And you're going to actually cook them in milk and cream. You're going to puree this, so it doesn't matter what this looks like. Cut off any piece that's discolored or is part of the root. Like for instance, that has to come off. So you're just going to cut it so that they're uniform, so that they all cook at the same time. That's fine. Okay, blah, blah, blah. What do I do with this, you say? This whole top thing, you're not going to use it. Cut it off. Check to make sure there's no black. Sometimes they have weird like worms or something that get inside them and make like black burrowing holes. Cut off the little nose on the end. So you want to peel this. If you can't peel it, if your peeler is not strong enough, because this is a hard root, you can do this. Or if you got a peeler for Christmas that works, you can peel it. Oh no, it's not working. Oh, there we go. Basically, it's peeled. You're just going to cut off any little weird discolorations. You're going to cut this in half. Check for holes. It doesn't have any holes. And you're going to make like very thick book pages. Be careful. Okay? Same thing here. Cut it into basically uniform slices into the liquid. So you want to keep any really dark brown pieces out because you want the puree to be beautiful white. You want it to be covered enough that they're all submerged. Not submerged, but they're none sitting on top of each other. You can salt it now or you can salt it when you puree it. It's your choice. Do not put pepper on it because you want to pepper it right before you serve it so there's a little flecking of pepper. I'm going to boil this until ones that I taste are soft. Newsflash from Randy. I'm putting this on medium-high, but I'm going to watch it because you know what milk does. It overflows when it boils. So keep your eye on this. When it starts to get hot, turn it down a little bit or you'll destroy your kitchen. A watched pot never boils. And basically you have some hot cream, said the actress to the bishop, and turnips and celery root that is cooked. Unlike potatoes, which you cannot make in a mixer, they turn into like wallpaper paste. It's very interesting. This you can, and you should actually do this hot, which is what I'm going to do. You're going to make a humongous mess, trust me. I use one of these, which is sort of an indispensable thing in your kitchen for eggs, for anything that you want to pull out of hot water. So first of all, I'm going to put in as much of the items as I can. Now, you don't want to fill this up too high. Now, what you have here is a lethal weapon, a molten, sticky lava that will bounce out of it, and if it hits you, it'll burn you. Now, be careful. Start low. I'm just going to push this down a little bit. Okay, I now know for sure that it needs liquid. And I just use a regular coffee mug like this, and I pull in liquid from the cooking. And now I'm going to see what happens when I puree that. I have had second-degree burns from this, so be very careful. Oh, it almost pureed, but it needs a little bit more liquid. You want to see a whirlwind, like a tornado, at the top of your mixer for at least 3 minutes before it's silky. Start low. It's moving at the bottom. whirlwind at the top, that's what you want. Oh, what a beauty. Let's take a little taste of oh, look at that. So silky. It's a little bit thick, but thicker is better than thin. So I'm just gonna pour the puree right into here. Look how silky it is. It's like milk. Look at that. Who wouldn't eat that? I'm the boss, I'm the boss, I'm the boss, I'm the boss, I'm the boss. Okay, chiffonade. You're gonna make something called a chiffonade, which is a fancy word for super cut up parsley. Take a handful of parsley, wash it. Really dry it by rolling it like this in a paper towel. Gather it in your hand and smush it into a kind of a cylinder. And then you're gonna kind of fold the cylinder like that, so it's like a little thing. Then you're gonna take your knife and you're gonna cut little teeny pieces of parsley from your roll. You then turn that and cut it again. The sign of a good chiffonade are little ribbons like that. That's a chiffonade. Here's silky, silky puree. It's been sitting there for a few hours in its silky gorgeousness. Certainly thickened up a little bit. We're gonna heat this lightly, and then when it's warm, we're gonna check the consistency. If it's too thick, we're gonna thin it with a little bit of the liquid that we cooked it in. Very low. Puree. Listen, this is really simple, and it's so decadent and angelic in some ways. This is a really superb accompaniment to any meat. Puree. Puree.